When the first ray of dawn breaks across the horizon, painting the vast ocean in hues of amber and gold, they say there is a moment, brief as a heartbeat, when you can glimpse Epple. Not with your eyes, perhaps, but with something deeper. Those who have felt the ancient spirit's presence speak of a sudden calm washing over turbulent waters, of impossible rescues from stormy seas, of shipwrecks mysteriously guided to safe harbors. For millennia, sailors have whispered prayers to this guardian of the deep, leaving offerings at shorelines across every continent. But who or what is Epple? Is it merely a myth born from humanity's need to make sense of the sea's unpredictable nature? Or does something truly divine dwell beneath those endless waves, something as old as the tides themselves? Join me on a journey into the legend, science, and mystery of Epple, the divine spirit of the sea. Origins of the legend. Long before humans built vessels to cross oceans, before they even had words for the vast waters that covered most of their world, the story of Epple was already ancient. The earliest recorded mention comes from clay tablets dating back to the Mesopotamian civilization, where fishermen carved symbols of a benevolent presence they believed guided their boats safely through unexplored waters. They called this entity Epple, the life-giver of the endless blue. In the coastal villages of ancient Greece, it was Poseidon, considered a gentler counterpart to the volatile Poseidon. While Poseidon wielded storms and earthquakes in displays of divine power, Poseidon was said to protect the small fishing boats that dared not venture far from shore, creating pockets of calm water during unexpected tempests. The Polynesian islanders, perhaps the world's most accomplished pre-modern seafarers, spoke reverently of Epple, a shape-shifting guardian who could appear as a magnificent whale, a school of bioluminescent fish, or even a strange glow beneath the water. Their intricate navigational chants often included invocations to Epple, asking for guidance across thousands of miles of open ocean. What's remarkable about these myths is not just their similarity across cultures that had no contact with each other but their consistency. In nearly every telling, Epple is portrayed not as a conqueror of the sea or its master, but as its spirit, the very embodiment of the ocean's dual nature of nurturing life and unleashing unstoppable power. The science behind the myth. Oceanographers might scoff at the idea of a divine sea spirit, yet there are phenomena in our oceans that continue to defy easy explanation. Consider the mysterious rogue waves, massive walls of water that appear suddenly in otherwise calm seas, often described by survivors as appearing out of nowhere. For centuries, these were dismissed as sailors' tall tales until scientific instruments finally recorded one in 1995 off the coast of Norway. A 26-meter-high wall of water materialized without warning, striking the oil platform Dropner, or the peculiar calm spots that sometimes form in the midst of violent storms, areas where the water inexplicably stills, creating temporary havens. Meteorologists call these microclimate anomalies, but they struggle to explain why they form exactly when and where desperate sailors need them most. Then there are the countless accounts of dolphins guiding struggling swimmers to shore or circling ships in distress, behavior that marine biologists acknowledge but cannot fully explain. Some indigenous cultures believed these animals were messengers or manifestations of Epple acting on the spirit's compassionate impulses. Perhaps most intriguing are the persistent reports of bioluminescent phenomena that don't match known patterns of marine life. Strange, organized lights moving purposefully beneath the surface, sometimes forming shapes or appearing to respond intelligently to human observers. Science tells us these must be colonies of bioluminescent organisms, but what explains their seemingly deliberate movements? While these mysteries don't prove the existence of a sea deity, they remind us that the ocean, covering 71% of our planet, remains largely unexplored. We've mapped more of the moon's surface than our own ocean floors. In that vast unknown, who can say with certainty what might exist? Epple across cultures. As human civilizations spread across continents, the legend of Epple evolved in fascinating ways, adapting to different cultural contexts while maintaining its core identity. In Japan, Epple became Ryujin no Yuamai, the dragon god of the sea's depths who controlled the tides with jewels of moon and sun. Fishermen would leave offerings at small shrines along the coast, asking for safe passage and abundant catches. Norse legends spoke of Aegipor, a being neither god nor giant but something older, who would sometimes calm Aegir's brewing storms when ships carried the innocent or brave. Viking sagas tell of lost vessels suddenly finding their way through impenetrable fog when a peculiar light appeared beneath their keels. Along the western coast of Africa, the Yoruba people told stories of Ayapo, a spirit who taught humans how to build their first canoes and revealed the secret paths of fish migration. To this day, some traditional fishing communities perform rituals at daybreak, sending prayers to Ayapo before setting out. In South America, the Mapuche people of Chile and Argentina speak of Epunamu, a benevolent force who balances the destructive power of Kai Kai Filu, the evil serpent spirit who causes floods and tsunamis. When earthquakes threaten coastal communities with massive waves, it is Epunamu who is said to diminish their force. Among the Inuit of the Arctic, Ipoa is the consciousness of the sea itself, neither male nor female but containing aspects of both, who ensures the ice forms properly in winter and breaks at the right time in spring, maintaining the delicate balance of their harsh environment. What's remarkable is how these diverse interpretations share common threads. Epel is rarely worshipped as a god demanding sacrifice, but rather honored as an ancient ally of humanity, a being that recognizes our fundamental connection to the sea and all its life. The Great Rescues. Throughout maritime history, there are accounts of inexplicable rescues and survival stories so unlikely that even the most rational observers were left searching for explanations beyond normal chance. Consider the case of the USS Indianapolis in 1945. After being torpedoed by a Japanese submarine, nearly 900 men were cast into the Philippine Sea. As sharks began attacking the survivors and hope dwindled, numerous sailors later reported seeing strange patterns of light beneath the water that seemed to ward off the predators. Some swore these lights guided rescue planes to their location after 4 horrific days adrift. Or the more recent case from 2018, when Thai fisherman Somsak Nat Hip found himself thrown overboard during a sudden storm, 20 miles from shore with no flotation device. As night fell and exhaustion set in, Somsak described being suddenly surrounded by a circle of blue light that kept him mysteriously buoyant. When dawn came, he found himself pushed by currents to a small island despite the fact that all known currents in the area flow away from land. The annals of maritime history overflow with such accounts. Single survivors of shipwrecks carried by impossible currents to safety, lost vessels finding harbor in uncharted coves during the worst hurricanes, drowning children returned to shore by something large that witnesses couldn't identify. Scientists offer rational explanations for each case. Lucky convergence of factors, misperceptions born from trauma and fear, and the mind's tendency to create meaning from random events. Yet for those who lived through these experiences, the feeling of an intelligent, compassionate presence remains unshakable. As one survivor from the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami put it, "I don't know if it was Epel or Allah or my own will to live, but something in that water wanted me to survive when everything else wanted me to die."